So I have a pleasure to announce the last talk of our section session, the talk of Olena Hryniv and Yaroslav Prytula from National University of Lviv, and she will tell us about history of teaching and research in algebra in Lviv.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to present our joint talk with Professor Yaroslav Prytula about history of teaching and research in algebra in Lviv. In this talk, we will mention the names of mathematicians whose lives were closely related to Lviv and Lviv University, and their results were connected with algebra. The history of Lviv University traces back to 1661, when the King Jan Kazimierz founded the university. His bill gave university rights and privileges to the Jesuit collegium. During more than 300-year history, the names of university were changed. We can see here different names of our university. Buildings and locations of the university also changed. We are now with this building of the National Parliament of Galicia. And the Jesuit Collegium consisted of philosophical and theological departments, and studies lasted 2 years. Students studied logic, physics, metaphysics, sometimes ethics, and mathematics. Special mathematical courses for graduates of philosophical department established in 1743, and later university has 4 departments: philosophical, theological, law, and medical. The studies in the philosophical department were preliminary before the studies in other 3 departments. Students studies pure mathematics, physics, and applications of mathematics, practical mathematics, geometry, and technology. Here we can see pages of mathematical textbook of our Lviv University, and we can see names of Cardano, Tartaglia, and Viet. Their results were referenced in mathematical course. In 1850, Professor Ignacy Lemov began teaching higher algebra as a separate course. This person, Jakob Kulik, is very interesting person. He graduate of our university, Lviv University. Later he became a head of the Department of Mathematics in Charles University in Prague. His 5 years work resulted in a table of prime divisors of the number from 3 million to 100 million. Here we can see a page from his work. For example, here is 17,201 has divisors 103 and 167, and so on. He wrote down all divisors, so he can find prime numbers in such way. And the next person is Wawrzyniec Żmurko. He was a professor of Lviv Technical Academy and a professor of Lviv University. He is also known as inventor of mathematical instruments, which were presented at different exhibitions in Lviv, Vienna, Paris, and London. He taught courses at Lviv University. We can see that among those courses are courses on algebra, on the solution of algebraic and numeric equations and other. Based on principles that mathematics exist for space and that rules of algebra can be derived from space, Żmurko structured the mathematical courses in such a way that line between algebra and geometry disappeared. In his textbook, Mathematical Lecture, he tried to define the analog of complex numbers in space and call them spatial numbers. He didn't know that it is impossible to construct the analog of complex numbers in three-dimensional space, but he tried. In 1881, a young mathematician from Paris, he was born in Poland, but he studied in Paris, Władysław Kwiatkowski came to Lviv. He announced following lecture courses, Hamilton's quaternion theory with some applications to geometry and mechanics, theory of convergence of infinite expressions and operation, and others. But also he announced problems with prizes. He he announced that this problem in algebra has price 1,000 francs and problem on geometry 500 francs. Here we can see a solution of his problems, but it had a mistake, so nobody obtained this prize. The next very important person in history of Lviv mathematics is Józef Puzyna. He is called a predictor whose ideas were developed by the next generation of Polish mathematicians. Puzyna studied at Lviv University, later in Berlin. He attended lectures of Weierstrass and Kronecker. Later he became a professor of Lviv University. In his monograph, 2 volumes, Theory of Analytic Function, he devoted chapters to complex numbers, substituting theory and theory of groups and invariance. He also taught courses on higher algebra, number theory, determinants, and the applications. Puzyna invited to Lviv Václav Sierpiński, a student of the Ukrainian mathematician Georgy Voronov. Václav Sierpiński taught algebra and number theory at Lviv University from 1908 to 1919. Sierpiński and Puzyna organized advanced seminars where students presented abstracts of mathematical research, including Galois and group theory. Also, Puzyna invited to Lviv Hugo Steinhaus. In this picture we can see Kazimierz Kuratowski, Stefan Banach. This picture is from 1929, when Sermelo came to Lviv. Also in this picture we can see Eustache Zhilinsky, the next hero of our talk. Eustache Zhilinsky graduated from Kyiv University at 1911. In 1911 he also received the silver medal for his work, latest strength in the theory of ideals. Later he had a stipendium to visit Göttingen, Marburg, and Cambridge. David Hilbert heard Zhilinsky's announcements at the meeting of the Göttingen Mathematical Society. And Hilbert suggested publishing this Zielinski's work in the Mathematische Annalen out of 10. Here we can see main result of Zielinski in different years. Zielinski taught in Lviv University algebra courses from 1919 till 1946. Another name important name in Lviv algebra is Josef Schreier. He and Stanislav Ulam, along with Stanislav Mazur, discussed problems concerning groups, as well as various questions in the theory of Lie algebra. Ukrainian mathematicians, members of Shevchenko Scientific Society, published a dozen scientific articles on algebra. Among them, we can see the article written by Klim Glibovitsky. It is devoted to 100th anniversary of Heinrich Abel, and this is a review of his results, his main results. Also, very important Ukrainian algebraic article is Tchaikovsky's article Metacyclic equations and the groups. It is the first mathematical monography written in Ukrainian. Also, this is the first monographic presentation of Galois theory written in Slavic language. After the Second World War, the head of the Department of Algebra of Lviv University was Yaroslav Lopatynsky. He developed the algebraic theory of linear differential equations. His textbooks, Foundation of Linear Algebra, together with his student Lopatynsky, continued his undertaking in Lviv, Uzhhorod, and Kharkiv, and established current algebraic schools. Also, another one scientist made research in algebra, Oleg Vedensky. Here is his doctoral work, Duality in Elliptic Curves over Local Field. These names were mentioned in previous talks, so the tradition is continued. And algebraic research, our professors of the university was Василь Андрійчук, Микола Комарницький, Богдан Забавський. And one more important person in Lviv algebra is Igor Guran, who developed topological algebra, and he built a huge scientific school. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your talk.